I'm going to discuss the ability to specify and contextualise a problem and communicate effectively an appropriate solution to a range of audiences module. The ability to specify and contextualise a problem is the way that a problem is summarised and communicated, in my case to a group of students who study computing degrees, then writing up to those who potentially might not be computer literate. I feel as though I've achieved this during Professional Practice Week 3, where we were asked to complete a use case scenario in a group of 5. Some of the team were more software engineering minded than others. Therefore, some found it more difficult to communicate their ideas and input into the team. In the team, there were a range of different members, including a mix of gender, a mix of race, and a mix of marital status. Working within teams brings both advantages and disadvantages to begin with. The main advantage being that ideas and thoughts can be shared. However, this can also have its disadvantages too. We all had different approaches to the task and were asked to perform the task as a group. Therefore, we needed a clear understanding of what the task was asking us to do. Some members of the group wanted to jump straight into the task and others wanted to reread lecture notes to ensure they knew exactly what they were being asked. This caused a bit of trouble within the group. I advised that there was a lot of time for us to perform the task, therefore it would not be disadvantageous reviewing any lecture notes. As a group, we then all came to the decision to reread the lecture notes and start the task. After we reviewed the lecture notes, we looked at starting the use case. We were all in agreement until it came to defining what an actor was and which way we were going to approach the system, whom was a primary actor. Some thought it should be players entering the team, others thought it should be system admins. After trying to find the lecturer to query what approach we were meant to be taken, without success I began to research and we all came to the agreement. However, I advised we need to make it clear within the document what we mean by things and definitions, as this document could be read by a range of people, such as computer savvy, different age groups, but also people who don't have any idea about software engineering. We then moved on to the flow of the use case, where some people's ideas of flows were a lot more complex than others, which was great, as they were thinking outside the box, but who was correct. Eventually, once the whole document was reviewed, some of the interlinked, more complex suggestions were agreed to be better fitting on the alternative flow, or the exceptions. After the document was typed up, we each individually analysed the document and the case that any additional information wanted or needed to be added was able to do so. This is the template we were given to lay out our use case scenario. As you can see, in the right column of each table, there was a definition. That first issue that we came over was the primary and secondary actors. Some members of the team were approaching the system with players updating their own data information and logging in that way, and system admins maintaining. Others were looking at it as system admins primarily updating the databases, and as and when there was a very basic form for the players to log in. Eventually we agreed that realistically players wouldn't have full control over a system. there would always be a system admin to take control and look over inputs and outputs of the system. We then briefly described what was going to be the outcome of the system. We then looked at triggers. This is triggers that could cause the use case to begin or the normal flow. Preconditions, this is anything that must be true for the use case to be started. Post conditions are the outcome or the minimal guarantees from the system after it's been run. The normal flow, this is the normal flow that I guess you would kind of have in a flow chart without there being any kind of different conditions or any errors in the system. So this is the perfect or ideal flow that the system will go through. The alternative flow, this is pretty much the same, but if there were different options. So for example, the one used on the template is if someone was trying to withdraw cash but they wanted to check their balance, that would be an alternative flow, and then you can return back to the normal flow as normal. Exceptions, this is anything that could cause an error within the system that potentially would not be expected. So this is the template that we were given, and this is our version. So as you can see, we've named it, we've dated it, last updated by Group 14 on the 14th of the 2nd. As you can see, we did come in agreement with the system admins being the main primary actor, the secondary actor being the competitors. The description, just that obviously it is going to store information on participating cities, and it'll take input from users and store city population, sponsors, names, number of games, win rate and win rate percentage. These will all be stored in text files within the system. The trigger would be a city wanting to join, or if an actor wanted to view any information, this would kickstart the system. Preconditions. So preconditions, if anything that needs to be correct or there before the system starts. So we can't input data if the city's not being played or competed in. They must already have a text file linked to them, which system admins can create. And the top one is if they are going to input information in the system, they need to already have the names of participants, sponsors, and number of games played. Post conditions, if a city is entered, a text file will be created. This is a guarantee because it's the way that the system would run and how it would work to then be able to read the data from that file and pull information. If information on the participants or the win streaks change, the text file that's already existing will change. If the amount of wins for the city changes, the system will have the system will automatically calculate a new win streak. So the normal flow is quite self-explanatory. The system will launch, they'll select the city they want to participate in or has taken or have participated in. City's name, sponsor, population will appear. The admin will find the participant. Admin will then edit the amount of games that have been played. The games played will increase the participant win rate or increase or decrease. Then leading on to the city's percent win rate, that'll increase or decrease depending on the result. The admin will save the data and then exit the system. Alternatively, if it would be the same flow, but what if the city doesn't exist, that they want to add information in, then we'll have to add a new city and then go through and we would return to step 3 like normal. Then what if the admin can't find the participant or it's a new participant in the city? We'll then go through these other steps, name, city, number of games played, the win rate, etc. And then we'll go to the city's percent and so on. Exceptions are if the city doesn't allow to, if the system admin is not able to add a new city or a new participant, it's going to cause an error in the file. So there were a lot of problems and clashes of personalities and ideas within our group, but eventually we worked it out by compromising, listening, focusing on the positives of our work and what we knew was correct. We then delegated tasks and everyone had their own input to allow for own views and values to be added. If someone thought the work needed editing slightly, they had the ability to do that. And then we all came into an agreement and we were all quite happy with the outcome. And there were not any major clashes other than the actors and just little personality clashes, which made it a fantastic opportunity to work in a group and overcome problems as a team rather than on an individual basis.